back. We're here with Ryan from In the Clear Accounting. Ryan, thank you for coming on the podcast today, man. Super excited to have you.
Thanks so much for having me, Easton. It's an honor. It's a pleasure, man.
Yes, man, I'm excited. So, accounting. Most people don't like numbers. They think they're boring. They would rather do something else. Take us kind of through the journey of why get into accounting, why get into numbers, why kind of get into this type of business.
Okay, awesome, man. So actually, my story is a little bit different, I want to say, than most people. So my story starts off where I went to school, where I went to college. I went to the University of Central Florida, and I actually got into sales really early on. I got into sales my freshman year. I did a college internship where I sold books door to door. So
Wow.
that was my very first exposure, and after that, I that experience, I really wanted to get into sales, and that kind of shaped my whole college experience, my whole college tenure. A little bit later on, I joined the professional selling program at my school. So my school, they didn't offer like a sales major, so I did business, and then joining the professional selling program was kind of like a minor for me. After I graduated, I got a job with Oracle NetSuite, moved to Colorado, did that for about a year, and then I realized that it wasn't everything that I had ever hoped for. So I decided to switch careers. So this was back in 2022. I have an older brother. He actually introduced me to accounting, taxes, bookkeeping, and I moved back home to Florida. I lived with my parents. My girlfriend at the time moved in with me, who's now my fiance. And I just jumped into learning as much as I can about accounting, and I fell in love with it. So, um, my brother also introduced me to one of my first clients. The best way to explain that is they were like, what I did was private home office management. So they were they had multiple businesses about just like domestic and international real estate and private money lending. So I was helping them manage like their home office with their businesses. So I did stuff like doing their bookkeeping, talking with their CPA, talking with their real estate agents, and just like everything that entailed. Um, there wasn't really a scope of work. It was just kind of go in there. It was an hourly position as well, and just kind of do what was required. And the best way to explain that experience, like the relationship that I had with that client, was they were like my rich parents. If you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, so
Yeah.
I just learned so much being in that position, just kind of solving different challenges under them and with them, um, just managing their office. And then while I was doing that too, I was also taking on different projects, doing taxes and stuff on the side. Um, I still have a great relationship with them till this day. I was able to learn so much. I mean, but after I couldn't really come to terms with compensation, I wanted to start getting paid like monthly. Uh, I just decided I think the next step in my journey, in my professional career, is let me just take a shot at entrepreneurship. I mean, I was figuring out a lot of different stuff for them, so let me just jump into it myself. So I left everything in good hands. Like I said, I'm still really close with them. I have my best friend who is with them now, who I was like transitioning him in and doing that. And then this was like in 2024, like toward the end of 2024. I was with them for like a couple years. Toward the end of 2024, I was transitioning my best friend in with that client. Um, I was also working on like behind the scenes, like business stuff, like creating a business plan and getting everything situated, the LLC, all of that stuff. And then I had a goal by 2025, March 31st, 2025. I'm going to put out 10 pieces of content out.
Love it.
And I had in my business plan, I had like 60, 50 or 60 different content ideas that, I thought of beforehand. So I thought, okay, cool. This is attainable, good goal. So March 31st came, nothing. I didn't put anything out. So I felt super behind. And then April 1st came, and then I realized like if I wasn't going to do it, then I'm never going to put myself out there. So
Yeah.
that's when I posted my first YouTube video, April 1st, 2025. And that's the day that I really consider me like actively trying to grow my business. And here I am just trying to keep putting myself out there, getting connected with you, Easton, and figuring it out still. So that's how
I
stuff
love
is.
it, man. So you transitioned from being an employee to then starting your business at age of 27, if I'm not mistaken. 26,
Yeah,
27.
yeah, yeah.
What
About that age.
what was that, with it being your first business ever, you were in sales, you then went to work for someone and then starting your business. What was some of the things that you were nervous or maybe a little concerned about as you were jumping into your first business?
Hmm, man, this is a great question. I think like being it like I didn't have a lot of experience with growing the business part of it. I did have some past experiences, and I also feel like everything that I've done in the past has kind of shaped me to take this leap and just try to figure stuff out for myself. I mean, I was really figuring out a lot of stuff out for like other people. So maybe I was feeling a little bit of like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Not a little bit. I was feeling a lot of it. Let me just keep on trying to do this and see how it unravels. And I still feel like that sometimes, but you just gotta dive in. And since I started, I feel like you can just keep on diving in more and more.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs, even as you get more and more successful, struggle with imposter syndrome. That's something I think we all question. Should we be in this room? Should we be here? Have I done enough work? Have I worked hard enough? And for small businesses, what do you think what's that one thing that you think they get wrong when it comes to finances and managing their books?
That's good. That's a great question. I feel like a lot of people they think of managing their books or doing their accounting. It's like a okay once a year thing. Let me just think about this during tax season, during tax time, where the most successful people that I've worked with, my previous clients and other clients that I'm currently working with now, they know what's going in and out of their business, their personal banking. They know how money moves in their business on a day to day basis. I mean, in my other role, that's literally what I did. They had a lot of different businesses. I had to make sure I was on top of everything. They were really structured, so it was just like a great foundation, and it really opened my eyes to how people how they can get to that level, and like their relationship with money is a bit different. They treat it as not like a chore that you just take on during tax time, which is important by the way, but it's just everything leading up to that. You need to make sure you have everything set up properly so that you can one strategize how to minimize your taxes. You also have to be able to make important decisions based on this information, because otherwise you're just going off of a gut feeling. You should trust your gut but also back it up with what's actually happening in your business.
What are some issues you've seen that small businesses have when they don't make that a priority?
Hmm. I think it's the scrambling during tax time. It's more of like a retroactive, like, oh, like, what do you mean this is my tax bill? Like, how can I get it lower now? Like, it's like everything has already happened. We're actually just trying to uncover the story of the things that have happened now. Like, there's not really a strategy. So it's kind of like backtracking.
And when you do enter that business, that's scrambling because I think a lot of, especially small businesses, don't make this a priority in the business because they're worried about their product, they're worried about marketing, networking, all the things that go into running a business. Especially if you're a solo entrepreneur, the last thing they're thinking about is taxes and finances because they're worrying about just making revenue, let alone trying to manage it. What are some of the systems that when you go into a business that you make sure that they set up so they don't scramble and they're confident going into tax time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being a business owner, you're wearing literally all of the different hats, so it's understandable. And then a lot of the times, we're not also taught this in school, like how important accounting and finance is. Yeah, so for sure, I can totally understand that. What no matter where you're at in your business, you need to have your accounting set up. Whether it's a simple system just to track your income, your expenses, or what like I personally I like QuickBooks. It just makes it super easy. Um, I've gotten pretty proficient in QuickBooks as well to help people understand how everything plays a role. You plug it into the accounting system. You need to have some sort of accounting system, so that's first and foremost. And you also need to have somebody who understands your business or who's willing to learn, because each business has many different nuances to it.
And when you look at small businesses and their taxes, what are some things you think when you go into a business that you focus on that makes you different than others?
I like to work with my clients. I kind of meet them where they're at. A lot of them, they'll tell me. I try to get them to tell me a bit more about what's going on in the business, what kind of personal goals do they have, because really, you have your business to also help you with your personal goals as well. So that's why a lot of people, mostly everybody, starts a business to fund their personal life. So to me, all of that stuff is important. I want to get as much information as possible because your business goals should be supporting your personal goals. So
Yeah.
just things like that.
So you really take the time to make sure you're cultivating a genuine relationship with your clients versus just their number.
Yep, exactly.
I love it. And one thing you also do, which I find fascinating, is not only do you cold call, but you post content about it. Can you kind of talk about not only actually we'll start there. Why did you decide to start this journey of really documenting your cold call journey?
Yeah, for sure. It was just going back to me diving more and more into my business. When I first started, I was just posting random like educational videos and which is important. Which is important. I wanted to build credibility and everything like that. But as I've learned more and more about just like marketing and content, as you have to wear all the different hats. I just felt like I want to share what I'm learning as well. It could be helpful to other people who are in my similar position, maybe other business owners in different industries. If you can take something that I'm doing and kind of apply it to what you're doing in your business, if it helps out, that means so much to me. That I was able to influence someone else in that kind of way. So that's kind of how it started. There's also the algorithm aspect of it. If accounting content is not really interesting, just I don't know. I think the average person, they don't just like go on their phone and they see accounting content. They're just like extremely hooked on it. So I wanted to diversify my content in a way. Maybe if I can make these cold call videos or just document my journey or make any kind of content that might be some interest to you, it could help out as well, just building my business too. So there's a few different ways, but a few different reasons, but yeah.
Cold calling alone makes people very anxious, but cold calling in front of a camera makes people double anxious. As you have just started this journey, what are some things you learn about cold calling and getting over that fear of rejection that you think would help other people?
It doesn't get easier. It definitely doesn't get easier, and I think doing things for the first time, it's super uncomfortable. I mean, even just talking in front of the camera for the first time, I didn't know how to do anything. Like I didn't know how to cut it and edit it, and I used to, when I talked in front of the camera, I would just start over. Like every time I messed up, start over, start over, start over. I don't know if you can relate or anyone can really relate, but it doesn't get easier. You just get better at doing it. Um, my approach for cold calling has changed a lot. I mean, if you go to my very first um, video that I put out about cold calling, it's just a completely different approach. And now I've done it a few times where it's changed in a good way. It's evolved and it's still evolving. I'm still early stages of learning and growing and diving deeper.
That's beautiful. I think a lot of people can relate to that. Is like it doesn't get sometimes it doesn't get easier. You just get better.
Mhm.
To kind of dive into some of the into the personal things that you talked about earlier on, you mentioned that you moved back in with your parents and your girlfriend moved in with you. Was there any guilt, anxiety, shame that came up with moving back in with your parents?
I think that society has this expectation that it's like you shouldn't do that in a way. And for me, I just have really supportive parents. They just always want what's best for me. My parents are immigrant parents as well, so they came from the Philippines as well. Early on, I think my dad was like 16 at the time when he came to America, 16 or 17, something like that, and in hopes for a better future. So for them, it was no shame. I mean, they just wanted to help out however they could, and they still are like that to this till this day. They just want to help out, and to me, it's just such a beautiful thing.
Have you told your parents how much and how supportive they've been for you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
every day, absolutely. All right, maybe not every day, but I make it known for sure.
Yeah.
Like whenever I talk to them, I just want to make them proud, and they're one of my biggest reasons why I'm doing this. I want to be able to give back to them in a way that all of their sacrifices that they've done for me.
What are some of the small things you think your parents did that set you up to be the person you are?
Yeah, they just always showed up for me. I mean, when I was growing up, they always try to put me in things like whether it was like piano lessons or tennis or anything like that. I mean, they would always like put me in these things that I feel like also really shaped me growing up. It taught me like discipline and um, just discipline and consistency at an early age. My mom especially always wanted to put me in these things, but both of them, they always showed up for me. Um, Even sometimes I didn't want to go. I just did it because my parents put me in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking back, I think that's a form of love. Like I want you to do something. I want you to develop and I want you to have these experiences growing up. So that's something that they did. Also putting food on the table and just spending family time growing up. It was super important for me.
Do you think they were a big influence on why you decided to not take the average path for the rest of your life and take the risk of starting your business? Like, why did you decide? Like, what was that? Do you think like the internal motivation to say, "Hey, I'm sick of working for someone else. I want to go strive for more."
Yeah, for sure. I think it was a combination of both. I think like I I got a taste of the corporate life a little bit. I got a taste of like the hourly thing, just challenges trying to maneuver around that, and then I realized I think there's more. I think that I can I think there's more to experience than this. And then also just having the support of my parents, my family, my brother, my parents, my fiance as well. Just even my best friends and my close circle. My circle is really small. It's like super close,
Yeah,
but just having the support of everybody. I just want to make everybody proud, and I want to keep doing good and just keep on challenging myself, not just for me but for them.
and how do you go about crafting your meaning to life?
This is great. I love it. So I have I think it's still a work in progress in a way. And for me, I have a personal mission and then I have a mission for the business. So this is why I say it kind of goes hand in hand, right? You want to have, business and personal goals. But for my business, I found it to be that our mission is to become the best financial asset to entrepreneurs. So we try to work toward that every day. I try to personally do that. I think that's where my skill is right now, and the best way to feed into my personal mission, which is to be a resource to my community, and whether it's the content I share, or just having a conversation with anybody, or just showing up. I think that's one of my biggest affirmations to this point is I always show up and I always try to be myself. Um, they kind of feed into each other. The best way that I can do that is through my business, and helping the community is my personal mission.
Has your personal mission evolved over the years?
I think I've always been trying to figure out what it is, and I wasn't really able to land on anything. I've always had like qualities of it, of just being a resource to my community, and I think this is where I'm at now with my mission, and I really like it. Yeah.
I love it. Last question here. When you're on this journey of life, do you strive for internal fulfillment or happiness?
I like it. I like it. This one is tough because when you say internal fulfillment, and happiness, I think it kind of goes hand in hand. I'm not a poet or anything, but I wrote like this poem back when I was in college, and it goes one of the lines, it goes, "But isn't success a state of mind?" Something like that. So the state of mind, though, it does come internal, and happiness, success, I think, can be used interchangeably in a way. But happiness, I think it does come internal.
I love it.
So you're
Well,
you're you're reaching within yourself.
yes. Well, Ryan, thank you for coming on the podcast. How can people find you, and what is one thing you want to leave people with?
Oh, nice. Okay, so you can find me. You can look up Ryan Poblete on any of my social media, or you can look up In the Clear Accounting on YouTube. In the Clear Accounting. I'm doing a series where I'm showing you guys everything I'm doing to try to grow my accounting business. My cold calling stuff is on there as well. On Facebook, if you're a newer bookkeeping or accounting entrepreneur that's trying to grow your business from the ground up, just started a Facebook group called the Modern Firm Startup. Feel free to join that. We have a community right now of about like 20 people. We're sharing
Nice.
what's working, what's not working, holding each other accountable, things like that. And something that I want to leave you all with is another one of my affirmations that I've heard throughout life is you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Feeling everything that you're supposed to be feeling, you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
I love that. One of the quotes or one of the mantras that I've been living by is everything is on time, just not your time.
I
And
love
I'm
it.
like, it just embodying that is a life changer, as you have stated. So, Ryan, thank you for coming on the podcast. It was a pleasure not only getting to know your accounting knowledge, but also some of your personal drivers in your life. So, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Easton, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you.